What's going on is the Objective Jerk, and I'm said jerk. How's everybody doing? Hope you're all good. Hope you're getting some exercise, getting some praying done. I gotta do some praying. I've been slacking on doing the rosary. Bad. I was doing it really, not no pun intended, but religiously for a few months, and then it's like slowly kind of here and there. And then I'll just kind of, I'll do it in a minute. I'll do it later. I do. Just keep pushing it back. And I got no reason. Not good. I'm still going to mass. Still try and read a little this, but just lately, I don't know. I'm kind of weird. Like I go through periods where I'm very, like I'm more of a sponge and I want to absorb information and learn things. And sometimes I just don't, I'm not in the mood to really read or do anything like that, And I think I was like that throughout my whole life because I just had some, I had some ebbs and flows in school, I would do good and then I wouldn't. And it's just because sometimes I enjoyed school actually and doing all that stuff and learning. And then I'd go through periods where I didn't, And I didn't really, I didn't catch on to all that till recently. But anyway, whatever. So, wanted to talk about, I guess, mental health again. But I want to share like this story that's just, it's just a little bit wacky doodle, right? So in Colorado, like I'm just going to read this. Is there a picture? No. Where did he? No, I saw a picture. Anyway, so the left, right? So there's let's see, I don't even know where to start really. So basically, the left, the far left, the extreme left, whatever you want to call it, are just losing their minds right now with everything going on with Trump, with Elon Musk, with Doge, with not so much, I guess, the FBI. It seems like the left are really just going after. They have, instead of TDS, they got EDS. And what they're saying, Elon, derangement syndrome. And I guess it's just because they all probably loved Elon at first because he was, clean energy cars and Teslas. And, now everybody's like, they're mad because, they don't agree with what he agrees with, I guess, or whatever. It's just kind of funny how on the left they really have they can't see any kind of good on either, you know what I mean? Like you can't, to be open-minded, to be objective, to be more in the middle. It's like, okay, yeah, I can see that. Okay, so like case in point, right? I don't know if this is the best analogy, but whatever. So, Hitler, right? Everybody pretty much agrees Hitler was a horrendous person, evil upon evil, right? But he did a lot of good for the German people at the beginning. You know what I mean? I mean, he was psycho, and there was some other stuff, but if you take away invading the other countries and being like just war hungry and everything, and taking away the murdering of millions of Jews, he probably would be looked at in Germany like pretty up there. You know what I mean? He did a lot of things for the country and the economy and he, all that kind of stuff. But then, you get all that other crap that just that outweighs the bad outweighs the good immensely, right? But to be objective or to be kind of you know, fair. It's like you can still see, okay, he did some good. Does that mean everything else is okay? No. Would it have been better if Hitler never existed? Maybe. It's hard to say, you know. I mean, probably. Obviously, it would be better because, you know, the war and the genocide and everything. But still, he had a great military, and they had lots of things that you can look at and say, okay, they were good at some things, you know what I mean? But they were evil, I'm not trying to be like, so that's kind of the problem with the left, though, is like they can't really, like, even though they hate Trump, but it's like, dude, you can't deny that he's doing some good, and the thing, they just can't, oh no, he's no, and no matter what it is, they'll still try and find a way to change it around, or they'll deny it or whatever. I don't know. They just don't believe it. It's just, it is a derangement syndrome. It literally is, This is why, liberalism is a mental disorder would trend on X constantly, all the time, So it's just kind of strange how, okay, maybe you don't agree with Trump and some of the things, and you're unhappy that Elon did what he did to X or whatever, this and that, but it's like where they just go from they loved him to like, oh, well, he's okay, and now they just completely hate him, even though he's the great things he's done. It's just a mental instability, you know what I mean? Like it is a mental condition. Like there's no real like thought. It's all emotion, They don't really have any kind of rational thought or any kind of, what's the word I'm trying to think of? It's just, everything's just emotion and anger and just, So I wanted to share this. So this was a little incident that happened in Loveland, Colorado. So there was, I'm trying to, I don't want to. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to kind of break it down a little bit, and then I'll read this report that was sent out. So an individual went to a Tesla dealership and, spray painted did some, damage to property and everything like that. And then they tried to burn some stuff. They tried to set up some like incendiary, devices, some like homemade kind of whatever to kind of burn up whatever, but it didn't work. And the individual went back, and that's when they got arrested, I think. So let's see. On Monday, February 24th, just before midnight, the Loveland Police Department arrested 40-year-old Lucy Grace Nelson. The arrest was based on probable cause obtained through an extensive investigation which started January 29th. This arrest comes after the Loveland Tesla dealership was vandalized several times, with incendiary devices discovered on the scene. On Monday evening, Nelson returned to Loveland Tesla while in possession of additional incendiary devices, along with materials attributed to vandalism. Detectives apprehended Nelson prior to further damage occurring. So it just kept going back. Nelson was booked into the Lamar County Jail on the following charges: explosive or incendiary devices used during felony, class felony, 2 felony, criminal mischief, class 6 felony, criminal attempt to commit, class 3 felony. Nelson's booking photo can be obtained through the records department of the Lamar County Sheriff's Office. All right, and the magistrate issued a $100,000 cash bond. Now, this individual Okay, 40-year-old Lucy Grace Nelson. The picture or the booking photo is not right here, but you can obtain it. I did see it. And Lucy is a man, okay? Straight up, no questions about it. Is a man. Doesn't even, I mean, it's just a dude with colored hair, 5 o'clock, it's completely a man. He's a man, but they go by, her, and they're whatever, they're being nice. But it's just, I don't know. I don't like how like this kind of stuff and this kind of mental break and these, the side of, they're the tolerant and they're the, the tolerant left, they're all about love and acceptance, but only for the few things that they care about. You know what I mean? So they're not tolerant. They don't love everybody. They're selfish. They're, self-absorbed mental patients. Most of them, not all, but most of them, So I kind of wanted to read some. So this is a Facebook post that I got up here. And then I just kind of wanted to read some comments. So you can so there's one here, and it's got a little GIF. It says, "Let her go." And then another one says, "100K bond for property damage, but y'all bond for 200 for the kitten murder and the man trying to drown a woman. Only thing you protect and serve is your capital interests." So, I mean, first of all, so this person, the police aren't the ones that set the bonds or anything. So, and yes, killing animals and kittens is not cool, but it's not. I mean, people get arrested for animal cruelty and all this kind of stuff, but it's just, it's not the same. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how to, let's see. Anyway, okay, I'm going to go down. So 40-year-old acting like a teenager. It's crazy. Kind of heroes we need, not the police department. See, it's like, so this person's a hero for trying to destroy a dealership to an individual that's finding corruption in the country. You know what I mean? And it's like, just like the guy that shot the Luigi guy. Like the left has the most psycho heroes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just, but this is why Donald Trump won. Is because this mental retardation just is just that, and it just got so out of hand. So these individuals, they got a little bit, they had their 15 minutes, the trans movement. And, were there trans individuals before all this? Yeah, for years. And they go about living their life. But then this.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thanks again for listening to The Objective Jerk. I greatly appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, comment on wherever you're finding this, and you can also email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. So hope you're enjoying it, and please continue on with the episode.
I don't know what. Some of it, I don't know. It's like it just got crazy, and then now we are where we are. But they brought it upon themselves. You know what I mean? I've been saying it for years that the gay community was, slow but surely was being accepted. People didn't care. Back in the day, everybody had to hide that they were gay, and it was a big scandal, and you'd get in trouble and you'd lose your job if you found out you were gay. Now, well, I don't know about now so much, but before, if you were gay, it didn't matter. Nobody cared, And then they started this whole woke ideology movement that just, pushed all this crap on everything. And now it's like it's reversed. So now it's like, now people will look at a gay individual in a negative light, a stereotypical light, because of all this crap. You know what I mean? When before they wouldn't, Not everybody, but it's, I don't know, it's insane. And, it's not even the gay left. Just because you're left wing doesn't mean you're gay. You know what I mean? But it's just, they just support this radical ideation. Did I say that right? That, if you're, but you just kind of see it. And it just, God, I'm trying to get to what I wanted to talk about in a linear, progressive fashion, but it's like, I'm a retard. I can't do it. But you kind of see like this stuff that's going on, right? There was, I think I wrote down a couple notes. What was it? Oh, okay. So then there was like a TikToker who got on TikTok, and I'm not saying like, getting on there and saying all this stuff. I mean, I do the same thing, maybe it's therapeutic. Like some people are like, I don't understand how people will record themselves freaking out and crying and this and that. And it's like, well, it's, it's their therapy, right? So they get it out, and then they get some people to talk about whatever. But the thing is, they're probably looking for the admiration and the likes and all that kind of stuff is what they really want. But, it probably helps a little bit, but maybe it's a false sense of therapy. Maybe what I'm doing is a false sense of therapy, I mean, I do what I do because I don't have really anybody in person to talk to about this stuff. Most of the people that I can relate to, that I can talk to, are, overseas. They're in America or whatever. And they have their lives still. They're working, they're doing whatever. I'm retired. I don't really have, I get my family up in the mornings and make sure that, I help them get stuff, I'm like a house bin. I'm a housewife in a sense. And I'm fine with that. It took me a minute to really kind of understand it though. But I talk about that in another podcast. I'm not going to do it again. So I do the podcast to kind of give me something to do, to get stuff off my chest. And I'm not comfortable. I mean, I'm a little more comfortable now, but at first I was very weary and uncomfortable doing this because I don't like, like I'm not on Facebook. I don't know. I'm kind of a private person, except for this. So I understand, I guess, the need or whatever, but does it actually provide? Does it fulfill the whatever it is I'm using this to fill? Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So it's my logo. That's why I have like the micro. This is it's therapy, microphone, medicine. I don't know. I mean, people listen to it, and some people just thumbs up. I'm kind of looking a little more for. I mean, I do get a little like, comments and a little interaction here and there, but I don't know. Maybe they're, this is kind of a false sense of therapy or whatever. But anyway, so this lady, which, doing her false sense of therapy and hoping whatever. But so she goes on to say that they need to, assassinate Elon Musk. I mean, I'm kind of paraphrasing, and I'm big time. and then she goes on to say like, oh, they don't have enough people, and she says like she hasn't even filed her taxes in 8 years. But I think she's like stay at home or unemployed or something like that, so it's not really, but now it's like now she's on the radar, and it's just like it's like, why did you think that was a good, like what was the point of that really? Like that one doesn't really make sense to me. I can understand people, like I can even understand more the liberals that just record themselves screaming because Trump won. We're like, ah, you know what I mean? Like it's funny. But I think that's therapeutic for them, and they're hoping to get some sort of "you go girl" or whatever kind of thing, right? But it's just insane. And if you think about, you can find mental health, right? Just like about a year ago, there's an article here in American Psychological Association. Mental health care is in high demand. Psychologists are leveraging tech and peers to meet the need. So you have people who aren't completely certified or educated to be a psychologist giving therapy to people. And then you have apps like BetterHelp, right? Which is hugely popular right now. And you just have to kind of think like, what, look at the way the current society is now and the way it was 50 years ago or 60 years ago. Now, was there people that needed mental health 50, 60 years ago? Absolutely. But the levels is just, it's so different. And it just kind of makes you think, or it makes you wonder what is going on, right? And I've said it before that it's the antidepressants, I think, is a huge thing. I think antidepressants help to an extent, and they help some people, but not all the people that take them. You know what I mean? And I think it's having a negative effect on them, and people are prescribed it so young. And then you have, so that's one difference between 50, 60 years ago and now is the SRIs, the amount of SRIs that are on the market and the amount of people that take it and the amount of undeveloped children or teenagers that are taking these. And then social media is huge too. Social media is really messes with people. And I really try to stay off it, but it is kind of hard, especially when I'm just here at home and I'm doing some whatever, and then I get on and look at something or check something, or especially like with, because the podcast, I mean, it's like that's the thing is like I'm on social media more mainly because of my podcast. If I didn't do my podcast, I wouldn't get this release of my frustrations and everything talking into the microphone, but then I wouldn't be on social media as much. So is this kind of like a moot, like, is it kind of pointless? If I just quit the podcast, would I even need to really have my microphone therapy? You know what I mean? Like, it seems kind of like counterintuitive. I don't know. But what I do know is a good diet. And when I say a good diet, like just not all the junk. And that's okay. So I kind of got off track there. So those are the differences between hundreds of years ago, or as most recent, like 50 years ago, is you have the food, all the preservatives and all the crap that is put in food that a lot of kids like and eat when they're younger. You have the SRIs. You have like the news that just, instead of just reporting what's going on, they're creating, and social media, it's really detrimental to everybody's health. And that's why we are in where we're at. You know what I mean? And the reason I'm kind of picking on liberals is because there are studies and articles. I meant to pick one up before I started and I forgot. But liberals are depressed and unhappy, even like when, Biden was in office or whatever. Studies show that liberal individuals are just basically miserable compared to conservative. So then it's like, okay, well, if that's the case, why is that? What is it? And then it's like, well, what does the left attack? They attack the atomic family, or the nuclear family, the atomic family. They religion, God, and like just exercise. Like how is it? Oh, you go to the gym and do all this stuff. You're a misogynist. It's like, what? So going to the gym, having a healthy relationship, monogamous, not sleeping around, but being married, going to church, loving God, getting exercise, providing for your family, being a part of your family, supporting your family, that's all bad, according to the left. But then, if that's the case, all those things is basically conservative values and ideas and whatever. So if that's the case, then why is it conservatives are happier than liberals? It's like they need to just kind of sit there and look at that and just kind of think like, what, And I'm not saying that, like, oh, you should just, you can't be a liberal no more. Being a liberal is, we got to have the liberals. We have to, you know what I mean? We got to have the arts, and we got to have, the people that do worry about the planet and worry about animals and stuff like that. It's just, with social media, it just seems like they're just force feeding you like crazy, though. Like I like film, I like music, I play instruments, but we don't need our film and our music industry to like suck each other's dicks off because they support trans and hate Trump. All the politics and shit involved with it. Get that out of it. Just do your art thing, And then like caring for the animals. It's like I'm not like, I don't know. The cat I have, driving down the road, saw this kitten on the side of the road, and I was like, oh my gosh, that kitten, like young, like just a couple weeks old. I think the mother left it out on the side of the road she abandoned it because her eyes were completely gunked up. Her one eyeball was filled. It was massive. And I was like, oh man. And it was just filled with pus, Once I got it open and squeezed it all out and everything's good. So now I have this cat that annoys the hell out of me. Because, I felt compassion for the animal. So I'm not, I consider myself a conservative, but I'm not a complete, all this stuff is, gay's wrong and who cares about the animals and who cares about the climate. It's like, yes, I don't believe in that we can change the climate, really. We can, I don't know, we can make the air better to breathe and have clean water and pick up our trash and things like that. Like, I absolutely believe in that. And it annoys me when I see people littering, And there's a lot of people that litter here in the Philippines, and it drives me nuts. And thank goodness it drives my kids nuts, and they get on some of their friends about it too. But, and see, I don't know, I'm not trying to like, oh, I'm the greatest person. Dude, I got, I'm an asshole. I'm a jerk. I don't, but it's like, I understand that we can't just get rid of liberals and Democrats and let's just, you can't just, because eventually it's just like in the Batman movie where you live long enough to see yourself become the bad guy. I can't remember the actual quote. The villain, you know. And I kind of think that's what's happened to Democrats and liberals right now. They've now become the bad guy. So you got to have the checks and balances, and you know, a little bit of everything. But it's just we need to bring back the asylums. We need MAGA 2.0. Make asylums great again. I mean, not the scary ones where they used to, you know, you hear. And that's the thing is, like, in today's day and age, no asylum is going to be anything like they used to be. But they need to bring back, you know, these asylums when people do crazy shit like this individual who is clearly a man who was going by a woman who was doing all this destruction and trying to burn down whatever. The person is mentally ill. And they don't need to go to prison, but they should go to an asylum and they should seek some, you know, help. And that needs to happen to a lot of people, you know. It's not just a shrink going once a week or whatever, or this and that. There are people that need to be forced and go to legitimate help, not shock therapy and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it helps, but you know, just get them out of social media and the news, and just get them, you know, gardening and this and that, and talking with people, and just getting a different perspective. You know, I mean, that's really what they need to do. I'm all for the asylums. You know, if they want to call it something different, whatever. But honestly, I think, you know, the liberals, I think a lot of liberals actually voted for Trump. They just won't admit it. And they're quiet, you know, because they could kind of see everything. They're like, yo, we need to have, something's got to change. This has gotten a little too crazy, you know. And I also think that the amount of quote unquote crazy liberals is not as many as you might think. It's just, that's what you see, you report on. That's what, I don't know. You know, it isn't just one thing. It's just everything together. You know, you got, it's almost like, you know, in this perfect kind of storm, you know, and things just went crazy. And it kind of still is, but hopefully, you know, I mean, it's only been, what, a month since Trump's been in office, which I think for a lot of people it's a long month, and they just focusing on everything. They just need to unplug, and just go mountain biking or something, you know? Go for some hikes, make a garden, raise an ant farm. I don't know, something, you know, something to really kind of, and I'm not one to talk. I don't know. I go through my, you know, I have mental problems, you know. I've had them my whole life as a kid. I didn't know that until a couple years ago when I found some notes from my stepmom regarding some stuff. I've talked about it before. So, you know, I'm not like, oh, they're weak and this and that, dude. I need it too, you know. But you got to be rational. You got to be genuine, because I don't know. It's just crazy. But that's all. I don't know I don't know what was going on with this one. But anyway, I've been talking for a long time, and I think that's about it. I appreciate you hanging out with me. Let me know what you think. Even the people that hate on it, I see you. I appreciate you. Well, I don't think anybody. I get like troll comments and this and that, and I think it's just basically based off my titles and stuff in description. They don't really actually listen or watch it. That's like Joe Rogan, dude. Like, you see all the hit pieces on Joe Rogan, and I'm not trying to compare myself to Joe Rogan, but they'll sit there and just, they said that this and blah, blah, blah. And it's just off a clip or something. It's like, you don't even watch all the episodes. You don't even see, and it's just, I don't know. I don't know. Social media, man. The internet ruined it all. I mean, you can't, I don't know. If you had to pick one thing, I don't know. I mean, who's kind of pushing all this stuff? The government, the deep state, maybe? Trying to get control. Is it the deep state, if you think about it? I mean, some people be like, yeah, dumbass, duh. But it's just like, it's like the biggest long con, if that's the case. I was just about to end it, but here I go. I'm going to keep going. I mean, is it possible that they realize, okay, if we, get people on these SRIs and that makes them less compassionate, they don't care so much, and then they're depressed, they feel like they need help, they can't do things on their own, and then make them more feminine because they're easier to persuade in that manner. I mean, because look, how many like feminine conservatives are there that are, you know what I mean? I mean, there are gay conservatives and even trans conservatives, really, and stuff like that. But it's just when you take out testosterone out of men, and which working out helps build testosterone, and just various diets, and it just makes men a little more easier to manipulate and deal with, I guess. And that was the whole point of it, trying to make, what do you call it? I mean, because I don't know. It didn't work. They tried, but it didn't work. But here we are. And where is that? I don't know. What the fuck was I talking about? I don't know what this was. I don't think I'm going to post this. Maybe. I always do. I always say that. I'm going to post it. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, who cares? Anyway, I'm going to end it with the intention of posting it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. God bless. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye. Oh, hey, email theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. All right. Wait, what did I say? Email theobjectivejerk. Yeah, I said it. Okay. theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Okay. All right. See you guys later. All right. Bye.
You just put yourself through another episode of The Objective Jerk. Thanks again for hanging out with me. Please email me at theobjectivejerk@gmail.com. Like, subscribe, comment, wherever you find this, follow. It all helps. But thanks again, and I'll see you next time.